Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. As the Federal Reserve tries to rein in inflation, gas and diesel prices remain high. Diesel prices hitting another record on Thursday, now averaging $5.78 a gallon. That's according to AAA. Gas down a penny from the last record high set on Tuesday, now averaging $5 a gallon. And as Farm Journal's Tyne Morgan reports, even if fuel prices go down, farmers are still looking at higher production costs this year.
Gas prices continue to crush records in the U.S.
Fuel, we had some farm diesel delivered yesterday and it cost us $4.85 or $4.89 a gallon delivered. So 2 years ago we bought fuel for just over $1.
The rapid rise in input prices is eating into outlooks this year, even with higher livestock and grain prices.
It's a challenging market, no doubt. Buying $8 corn and $5.50 diesel is a tremendous challenge for producers.
Research by Texas A&M Agricultural and Food Policy Center shows farmers are seeing nearly every input cost on their farm rise this year, with nitrogen prices producing the biggest increase, up more than 133% per acre year over year. Phosphorus and potassium fertilizer, well, that's up nearly 93%, followed by fuel and lube jumping more than 86% compared to last year. And the latest baseline projections from the University of Missouri's Food and Policy Research Institute also shows the sharp rise in fuel costs today.
A 50-some% increase may or may not capture what's happening right now throughout the whole calendar year of 2022, but it is capturing at least that part that we're seeing right now.
So why have diesel prices raced higher this year? Well, it's largely due to a shortage of refining capacity, not a shortage of oil.
The nation dealing with about 1 million barrels a day less of capacity than we had just 3 years ago. That's the equivalent of about 5%. So not only is oil a problem with sanctions on Russia's oil, but turning that oil into something like gasoline and diesel is also now a choke point.
S&P Global Commodity Insights is also watching the situation at a time when the U.S. is typically building inventory again. It seems hurdle after hurdle is what's making that more difficult.
Refineries, we have less capacity. We have about 1.2 million barrels a day of less capacity because of shutdowns that occurred both prior to the pandemic, right before the pandemic started.
Another issue is refineries hit by Hurricane Ida last fall that never came back online, which was one of the initial dominoes to fall for diesel prices.
When you look at the cost of producing diesel, this all actually started before the war in October of last year, where the cost of natural gas increased substantially in Europe. And why is that important to a Midwest farmer? It's because the cost of producing that diesel increased with it.
While a possible diesel shortage is looming, diesel prices aren't forecast to see a dramatic drop anytime soon.
You know, these prices are not going to go back to the levels we had at the beginning of 2021. It's more likely that we'll see maybe $5 to $10 decline in crude price, and that would equate to maybe 50 to 60 cents on the diesel price itself.
That says diesel prices could remain high for at least 2 years.
Well, it could take a couple of years, and keep in mind, the longer we go down this road, that demand eclipses supply, the more catching up we're going to have to do.
And as farmers weigh their options and booking diesel for summer and fall needs, net farm income is still expected to remain strong. It all hinges on whether commodity prices can hold.